Let's switch gears now and bring in another place where the storm is happening, but this is man-made and man-caused. It's really the administration caused it, and that is the crisis at our border. Let's bring in Texas Congressman and former Sheriff Troy Nehls. Congressman, welcome back.
Good morning. Thank you, Brian.
Congressman, we're focusing on how many people come across on their own and what we're going to do with them when they don't have unsavory intentions. What about the criminal activity where they don't want to be apprehended?
Well, we know that now it's the state of Texas, and it's our Governor Abbott, having to react and actually respond proactively to this crisis at the southern border. He is augmenting the Border Patrol with Department of Public Safety officers, National Guard, because our governor's been there before, and he realizes that there is a crisis at the southern border. And still today, after how many weeks of this now, the No Borders Biden administration is continuing to say there is no crisis. Yeah. His Homeland Security Director saying there's no crisis. Wake up, people. Wake up and understand that this is a serious issue for the American people, and it must be addressed, and it must stop today. They're
not even letting our cameras, they're not letting our reporters. You know, Steve Ducey's son is at the White House, and he asks all the time to go down there to see what's happening inside these shelters or these facilities. They won't let anyone in. They're not allowing media ride-alongs, and they say you have to send your request now to the Department of Homeland Security. And Mayorkas, who works for President Biden, he was appointed by President Biden, he's still not calling it a crisis. Listen to what he said.
You said earlier in your testimony that the situation at the border is undoubtedly difficult. Well, given the tremendous rise and surge of individuals coming to the border, wouldn't it be fair to call it a crisis? Because that's what your agents are calling it.
I'm not spending any time on the language that we use. I am spending time on operational response to the situation at the border.
What's your response when you hear that? I mean, you're in law enforcement. You were in law enforcement. You have friends down there.
What did they think was going to happen when you're out there proactive? You're out there telling these people, come on into our southern border. It's open. We're open for business. And now all of a sudden he's coming out there and he's trying to pump the brakes and say, don't come now. Yeah. Do you remember over the summertime when you saw all of this civil unrest across our country and there were calls for defunding the police? Well, when you call for defunding the police, what do you think was going to happen? You're going to see an increase in crime. And that's what we've seen in our cities across our country. So now when you tell these people, hey, come on into our southern border, you're going to see an increase in crime. You're going to see an increase in migration. You're going to see an increase of victims. I mean, our governor addressed it the other day talking about the number of these individuals being sexually assaulted. Sadly. Sad state of affairs.
And to your point about the crime, we've got a little bit of tape, and this shows automatic weapon fire. One of the people who took it was a former Texas Border Security captain, and it is, you can hear the weapons in the background, and it's horrifying. Listen to this.
We're seeing infants. Gunfight, gun battle. Hey, can you turn real quick so they can hear it? Oh, yeah, there we go. We're still alive.
Congressman, that's what you hear in a war zone. That is some guy sitting on the other side of the Rio Grande River.
It reminded me what I saw and heard in Afghanistan in 2008. And what we're seeing, so we have a crisis at the southern border. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for the American people because the human traffickers are benefiting from this. The drug traffickers are benefiting from this. Yeah, Joe Biden's administration is aiding and abetting in the trafficking of persons. He's complicit in this, and it must stop. He must reverse course.